Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Dads of Detroit. My name is Chip Van Gundy.
And I'm Freeze.
You are watching another episode of the most engaging, most exciting conversations taking place amongst dads from the perspectives, again, of fathers here in the Metro Detroit area. How you feeling, Freeze? How's it going?
I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling
Man,
today?
God is good. Just another day. He kept the evil away. I want to ask you a question, brother.
Okay.
So, what would you say is motion? You know, you hear this term now. People say, "Oh, he's got motion. She's got motion."
That's a good question.
What is the male version of motion? in
Oh,
your
you
opinion?
got to be doing something. And when I say doing something, something that's either financially making sense. If you got a good job, you can have a good job. That's having motion. You can have some businesses and a job that's having motion. Just long as you're doing something where you active and it's making sense financially. That's really pretty much what having motion is.
Okay. I'm putting this in here for our viewers of I'm putting this title in here so they can see as they come onto the screen.
Okay.
They'll see with the conversation that we're having. Let me see here. But I like that. As a man, you got to just have something going on, something positive taking place. You got to have something that you're doing that kind of sets you apart. You would say.
Yeah, it just can't be nothing. It can't be nothing. I don't want to say basic, but
Okay.
you got to be doing something at a high level,
What is we
and,
might,
and
we
that's
might,
and that's relative.
Okay.
That's relative.
what is the definition of motion for females? What would a female
It's the
have to
same.
do and or possess?
It's the same thing. A female will have to be making some good money and doing some things out here. Like a woman that might have 2 or 3 degrees, she got motion. You know what I mean? She got some motion. She got options.
I disagree. I think that's wildly out. I don't think the thing that makes motion for a woman motion for a man. I think the thing that you described up until this point makes motion for a man, and I would probably go a little bit deeper in detail, and we'll do that in a moment. But I think that motion for a woman is all about who she is kept by. I feel like a woman doesn't have motion unless she has taken the beauty, brains, assets, and values, whatever it is that she possesses, she has turned them into a skill that has made her, I don't want to say valuable, but it has made her competitive or attractive enough to a valuable man to the point that she has the option to live a softer life than the average woman. Because a woman with motion, I'll tell you this. Let me tell you what you've described a woman with motion. A woman that's getting it going. I've seen people on my social media who've got what you would describe as motion. They get off at 1 in the morning. I don't want my woman getting off at 1 in the morning. I think a woman with motion is a woman that is kept. You got motion if you are well taken care of by a.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
I completely disagree.
Okay. Because my thing is this.
So listen, let me ask you
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me back it up.
Okay.
Because look, all right, a woman who's kept, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does she become kept? What made this valuable? And I'm gonna put the air quotes on this valuable. What made this valuable? Man. I was about to call him a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
What made this valuable man go after this woman and made him feel like she needs to be kept?
Okay. A valuable man sees a beautiful, feminine, ambitious, but helpful woman who has the ability to step forward. She has accumulated some degrees because in today's society, we at least want to know, just in general, that you have the ability to do for yourself, right? So she's displayed her ability, her smartness, her ability to go and work in the C-suite, right? But she's also more eager, more invested in helping bring my dreams and my goals to fruition. And she has found value and validity in bringing our mutual goals to fruition. And in doing so, I have in return provided a life for her that allows her to focus primarily on the children.
Okay.
That allows her to focus primarily on the house. Now, at this point in her life, she's achieved some degrees, so she's not focused on the family and the home out of pure necessity. She's been given the choice, and now we live in a society where we can see that being
a woman with motion is a housewife to you.
Well,
I mean, that's what you're saying. So, in your opinion, a woman with motion is a housewife. In my opinion, that is the woman that doesn't have motion. She doesn't have motion.
how does a wife not have? Listen to me.
I'm telling you. Listen.
Wait.
She
how
doesn't
does
have.
a wife in a secure home?
Because I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I haven't even challenged what you feel like is motion. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, a woman who's solely invested into her partner and the household and the children, and doesn't really do or doesn't have an outside. So let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Does this woman have any outside business besides?
Most certainly. No. A woman with motion has projects that she's involved in, but guess what?
I didn't say projects.
No.
I didn't say projects. See, that's
Okay.
that word.
Hobby?
I said a business. A business outside of your business. Does she have a business?
She can if she wants to. But let me just tell you this. Running a business can be... listen, to answer your question, if my woman wants to have, or if this woman in the scenario that we are fictitiously talking about, if she wants to have a job and a business, a high-level business, she's more than welcome to do so. But there are women... Watch this, though. But the reality is, those women who are working in the C-suite, and those women who are doing and achieving and excelling at the highest of levels would take a man to be in that place so that that place for her is optional. It's not in this day and age.
But the question was, what's a woman with motion?
Yeah.
You sound like you describing a woman that's just going to be into you and your beliefs and your ideals.
She's got
to me that's not a woman with motion.
She's-
That's a woman that's fit for you. Now, if I was out and about, or if I just seen a woman, right, you don't know that this woman is going to be this to you. So when you see a woman in general, what is your version of a woman with motion? That's the question, because you described, it sound like after you met her and y'all had. Tell me the woman that has motion that you don't know. You just see out and about.
That's
on a
great.
day to day,
I
or you
like
got
that.
a description. What does that woman look like? What is her life like?
A woman with motion that I do not know is a woman who is in the grocery store at 11:30 on a Tuesday morning. She's in Lululemon. Her hair is up in a ponytail, and she has a ring on, and she's grocery shopping with both of her children. You know what I mean? She has a conference call later on this evening, right, with her, the business that she works with, right? But she just does that job remotely, part time, right? And she is going to check out of the checkout line with money that she didn't work to earn. And she's going to get into a vehicle. And because vehicles break, this time when she turns it on, it breaks. It doesn't turn on all the way. And you know what she does? She doesn't call the mechanic. She calls her significant other, right? And she knows in calling that significant other that issue is going to be taken care of. I think that's a woman.
All right, so let me ask you this. Describe that woman single.
Doesn't happen.
Wait. Describe that woman single for a single man. Describe a woman with motion that the single man with motion needs to look
That's
for?
beautiful. A single woman with motion, that's beautiful, is someone who is open and receptive to the teamwork that it takes.
Wait, before you get there,
Okay.
this is on initial. You don't know her. If he's out and about and he just like, damn, like she might have some motion. What that look like to you?
What does it? I mean, what does it look like to like?
Yeah, like the- like-
literally physically, or like what state of mind is that woman in? You see what I'm saying?
Like you know how you just said you're in Lululemon at 11 o'clock.
Okay,
So describe that for a single man.
a single woman with motion. If I'm understanding,
It's,
what,
it's,
okay,
it's the same question, but just describe this woman, and she's looking for a husband with motion. So, so where would this woman be? Like how you it was easy. It was easy for you to describe it. It was easy for you to describe it in a family sense, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm asking you to describe this woman that's not dependent on a man, that she's looking to find.
Oh, well, that's-
listen.
yeah.
She's looking to find. So, because I'm trying to make it easier for you,
Please.
right?
You're doing it, too.
Yeah,
You're doing a great job.
she's looking to find, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, where would this woman be at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday? Or where would this man be that he would find this woman? Like, what is your definition of a single woman with motion?
I think, I think that's probably college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after a woman gets out of college, she should already have her significant, like she should already. No, I'm just saying. No. I mean, this is my answer. This is my perception. This is my opinion.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying, well, you're not giving me things, but here's my thing. I'm saying a woman like that, a single woman. Let me completely contextualize what I'm saying. A single woman with motion is the woman that I've described, but she's in an earlier phase in life. And so in that phase, she's still in college. I think that most people meet their significant others in the places that they work. Watch this. In the places that they work, the places that they go to church,
Got you.
and the places that they go to college.
Got you.
I would say that single women are single women with motion are women who are
Educated.
pursuing some type of education. Or I'll also make an example of that anomaly or that rare instance where you have a young lady who is, getting ready to take up the reins in her family's business, or she's got a position in her family's company, right?
What if she has her own company? Why does it have to be a family company? What if she's built and grew a company of her own that didn't allow her to go to college or
Yeah.
didn't make for her, but it's a successful business in her own right?
I'm certainly not against a woman having her own things. So to answer your question, yeah, if it's a business that she's created, like I'm absolutely not against that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
I got a sidebar question.
Please.
How do you feel about a man who has motion per se, right? And he meets a young lady that has motion as well. She has a business, and her business is highly successful.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about her asking him, like, listen, I need you to let go of what you're doing, come over here, help me grow this, let's bubble this.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen, because I think this would be more beneficial to us in the long run than what you got going on.
Well, as that question is a great question. As a business owner, the goal of owning a business is to be able to get that business to run on autopilot. The goal of coming together with somebody of the opposite sex is to have a marriage and a family. So what our plan is strategically, especially with the help of AI, how do we get that great business, what you're doing, how do we keep it on the trajectory of growth, but also create opportunities for you to scale back and do it as a consultant or do it as someone who comes in maybe once or twice or 3 or 4 times throughout the week, maybe for 4 hours, right? Part-time, optionally, right? So that your primary focus can be on the family, can be on the home, and that when you because we know absence makes the heart grow fonder. So, and I know that my lady needs to get out the house. I ain't crazy by any stretch of the imagination. But what I am beginning to see, and I think that the results will bear this as well, women that are focused primarily on business and work, they don't have the bandwidth to focus on the family and the growing of the maintenance of the household, and that what we have seen is what really kind of provides for the average woman the most fulfillment. The average man as well.
But so in that case, right? That's why she came to you and asked you, like, listen, I need you to stop what you doing to come over here to make that happen. You are describing everything that you say should happen. So, okay, if you feel that strongly and you believe in my dream, stop what you're doing, bring your ass over here and help me do that so I can let my company run on its own so I can focus on this family. Are you, as the husband or as the provider that you know to be, that you know that you are you willing to sacrifice what you've built to help build this, especially if you know how lucrative it is?
In today's society, as a man, our job is not only to provide for our families, but just as ourselves. And now that we've come into this society where we've been given the option to, think more about our own desires, it becomes incumbent upon us to provide, but then also figure out ways to get the businesses that we have on autopilot. I want to get what I'm doing on autopilot, right? I'm still be working at it very vigorously, right? But allowing other people to do a portion of the work that allows me to step aside and get her business on autopilot, right? And so ultimately, but I think what you're questioning assumes is the willingness for one to put their agenda aside, and that's what we're missing in today's society. And
because that's basically all I'm asking you.
And I believe,
because that's what I was about to just tell you. Like, I hear everything that you're saying,
and I believe that if someone's going to be conceding their career, their job, their agenda, it must and certainly should be the woman.
Yeah, but I understand that. Okay. But why would she do that when she has a business that's more lucrative than what you're doing?
Well, here's the thing with the women that have the successful businesses. They're too busy. They're too
and that goes back to what I said originally. Can you stop what you're doing to get her business to? Because just like you said, even if we go with your ideals, right? And with your beliefs, right? Okay. She has ran this company up to whatever she's ran it to, and now she's met you, and you guys have became one, and now she wants a family. Now she doesn't have the, I don't want to say the brain power because that's not a good word to use. She just doesn't have the business acumen to basically have this business run on its own. She doesn't know, but you do. But this business is so big that you won't be able to do what you're doing and help her do what she's doing. But she's trying to step away from this business to be more with you. But this business is too big to just right? So that's why I'm saying, are you willing to sacrifice whatever you're doing to help grow and help this woman be the woman that she needs to be to you? But in order for her to do this, because like you said, she's too busy and all that, she understands that. That's why she needs you. She needs you to help her free up her time.
And I hate to be that person that's like, I'm the anomaly, but I am married. You know what I mean? And I've been married for 6 years.
But we're talking about something in hypothetical in general. So we're not getting deep.
The point I'm getting to,
because a lot of these questions are yes or no.
But the point I'm getting to is, how dare anybody anywhere ask any woman to exist in a space that they haven't provided? You feel me?
What you mean?
I'm saying, like, I'm not going to ask my woman to set aside her thriving, bigger business for my agenda unless I can help her walk away. Like, I'm not going to compromise the money that we have as a group. You feel me? Like, certainly. So what I'm saying in essence is my disposition comes from a place of a person who provides that in real life. You know what I mean? Like you can't ask someone to put their things aside unless you've got a secure, permanent, consistent stress or stressless or a less stressful place for them to go to. And maybe that's not what's being provided by the average man.
So ultimately, if she said, "I need you to step away from your job, come over here to be the CEO, so I can do something else and start having kids and be a housewife," are you doing it? And that's a yes or a no. Let's get to the bottom of this shit.
Yes,
Yes
I
or
would,
no?
Listen, yes, I would.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yes,
That's
I would
it.
take a job
Yes.
from a thriving
So
company.
listen. So out of all the shit you just said, at the end of the day, you're giving up your career to go and help your woman build her bigger, thriving, money making business. That's a yes. That's yes. We said it. That's yes. That's yes.
I'm not.
It only makes that's why I say a lot of the shit that y'all. I don't even want to say y'all because I don't want to put this on all.
Yeah.
Right, but
Put it
a
on
lot,
me.
but a lot of this shit. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense sometimes, but when we start getting to real life situational things, you have to bend your morale a little bit because it only makes sense. Some things are just bigger than this ego and this pride and this tradition. You know what I mean? Because the world is different now.
Yeah.
Because women are having things and building businesses that a man wouldn't even be able to touch. Like for instance, Rihanna. Rihanna is an artist who built a $1 billion panty line. Right? If any nigga, I'm sorry, or any R&B artist, whatever, he could go out and make draws right now. The biggest R&B artist, and it wouldn't do what Rihanna did. Right? But that doesn't make A$AP Rocky any less of a man. She doesn't treat him like any less of a man, even though he had to put a lot of things.
Okay, well, we went wait.
Wait. I'm just trying to give you an example.
Yeah.
So I'm about to wrap it all up. Is what I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, tradition is tradition. But in today's society, women are thriving. You know what I mean? And if we're going to be, the provider and the patriarch of the family, we still have to do certain things that goes against those ideals and ideologies to make sure that our woman is thriving, our family is thriving, our money is flowing.
You just asked me yes, and amen.
Amen.
You asked me a question, and it's like you got the answer that you wanted, but you're not. But wait, you said you got your bones.
I got you.
The woman built a Fortune 500 company from her hands, and she's the CEO of the company, and she's willing to step down so that I can be the CEO of her company. That is an investment that warrants me stopping my career. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a very unique circumstance. But how often is it that a woman has a business that is doing so well that watch this, that she built from the ground up with the sweat of her own brow, and she gonna let you be the CEO of it? Like, that's a little bit of a weird scenario that you put me in. But in that scenario, I would take over her company, and I would, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, come on. So with that being said, now
all right. So are you only going? Would you only quit just to be the CEO? You wouldn't quit your job to do anything else in that company, or you wouldn't quit your job to get this, basically get this company running, autonomously, like to where it's just.
I mean, if that's what it calls for, and you know what I mean, like in my specific, like, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, like, if you got a Fortune 500 company and you'll step down and let me be the CEO of it, then I think we would have to have a more in-depth conversation about how big the books are, how much money this is, like how much you pay. Because at the end of the day, I'm still technically the provider, and at that point, she's technically unemployed. So
how are you technically the provider if her company make more than you?
Because she just allowed me to become the CEO of the company.
I mean, but why would it be that if y'all won?
Well, I mean,
I don't understand. You see,
again, because what good is a woman that won't have your kids if you're trying to build a, like, either we're trying to build a legacy or not. And I feel like society, watch this, society and people are trying to get us to compromise. Who's going to have the babies, Brandon? Who's going to do it? And I'm trying.
Why is a career an indictment on the family?
That's
family
the
dynamic?
scenario that you've put up. You've put up that scenario. And that is the scenario that society has given us. Society has told us it's the family or your career. Now, some of us, by God's grace, are realizing that we can work together and may have to change or exchange some of those formerly known traditional roles, right? But you can have your cake and eat it too when we're talking in context of having a job and having a thriving family. But on average, a woman is got to place herself in a position to not only have the children, but also be there to rear the children, or else the legacy dies. Because at the end of the day, who are you going to leave these big companies to? Now answer that question. If somebody won't stop for a little while, at least 9 months in 3 years to have a kid and breastfeed, is that too much to ask?
So let me say this.
Because I feel like I'm getting backed into a corner. So nobody wants to have the kids.
So are we speaking in general, or are we just speaking period?
I guess I don't know. I'm just saying.
Because I can say this: all of the women that I know in my life and my family right now are career women.
Yeah.
That are rearing children.
Yeah.
That are able to do what they have to do. My sister is a perfect example.
Yeah.
She's damn near a professional student. 5 degrees. She can damn near do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
She's a full-time mother.
She married. She got a husband. She got a man.
Yes.
She's got motion.
A full-time mother.
She's got motion.
Literally.
She's got motion.
And still.
She's got motion.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I mean, like, a career doesn't mean, it depends on how the woman sets her life up. You know what I mean? And listen,
but you gotta acknowledge that though, because here's the thing.
And I'm gonna take it a step. I'm gonna take it a step further.
Yeah, that's the first person you use as an example.
She has been doing this. She has been doing this since we were kids. I'm gonna tell you why. Mm-hmm. When my sister was 16, she was going to Renaissance, straight A's, 4.0. No, let me take that back. She was going to Redford. She went to Renaissance first. Mm-hmm. We moved. She ended up going to Redford. She graduated valedictorian, right? And she graduated valedictorian after only going there for 2 years, right? On top of that, she had 2 jobs. She was working at L.S. Brinker. If anybody know about L.S. Brinker, she was working at L.S. Brinker, and she was working at Fred and Sons right there on Livernois.
Yeah.
Right? She was making $20 an hour at 16 at L.S. Brinker.
Yeah.
I used to walk her to the bus stop in the summertime at 5 in the morning. You feel me?
Yeah.
Wait till the bus came on 6 Mile in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So she can go to work. You feel me? I was 11, 12 years old. So look, she been doing this shit since then. So it's no surprise that when she had kids, and she didn't have kids until she got 30. You know what I'm saying? She lived her life, went to school. You know, she enjoyed everything. Got with her fiance, and everything was just everything.
Yeah.
But this is a woman I have seen create a career and literally rear children. It's possible.
Yes. But, and you've described, not only did you think of her first when we began to think of good examples, you did for good reason after you described her, but then you've also said what her full-time job is. So it's just kind of like, again, women nowadays, and obviously we can't speak too intimately for women because we're the dads of Detroit, right? Yeah. But it seems as though the public consensus is shifting to where if you could be a C-suite executive or a Fortune 500 CEO, or you could be a part-time worker and a full-time parent in a healthy, thriving a family that has security and your needs are met. I think most women are starting to see that the strong, go get it, go be a boss babe, that narrative is a little hollow, right? Like that narrative is a little hollow, and I think you're going to begin to see that women are going to reach a little bit less ambitiously in the working world, right? and they're going to begin to lean back into what kind of we're beginning to see makes people seem a little bit more fulfilled and a little bit more happy, rearing their children.
It just, I don't know. It just feels like that whole ideal is so old school, traditional, and ego driven.
Yeah.
It feels
Ego-driven for who?
For men. It's like men supposed to be the provider and women supposed to be barefoot. Like that's.
It's
cool.
a matter of what
Listen,
you do
listen,
best.
I know, but listen, I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I say that is because it's like this. I'm a person that at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop what my girl got going on because I need her to start having kids. When I get with her, we're going to figure out what our life is going to be. We're going to plan things out. We're going to have planned pregnancies. Okay, look, if this is what you got going on, let me know what your goal is. Let me know when you can stop doing this, and I'm going to pick it up here. We're going to have a plan, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all that I need to do X, Y, and Z. So, listen, she worked hard to get to where she was at, too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's also a matter of perspective.
I understand, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I hear you, but it's almost like, yo, I don't want no female that's not ambitious, that's not trying to go get something. I don't want no female that want to just sit at home and have kids all
It
day.
ain't about just.
I want us to have our kids. I want us to have our kids to have different experiences and different perspectives on what's going on. I don't want my kids to just see their mama sitting in the kitchen cooking all day.
It's a matter of perspective because as parents, we are the primary teachers. So you ain't just cooking. You teaching me how to cook. You teaching me how to survive. You teaching me how to thrive in the world. Maybe you teaching me how to sew. The mom is not just sitting on the couch watching Netflix. She's engaged and she's ensuring that what the children eat, she knows about. What the children learn, she knows about. Because when you talk to mothers, they're concerned about what their children
She
eat.
don't have to be just limited to that.
And it's not about the limits. It's no one's putting a limit on anybody. It's simply a matter of giving them that true option because we've been sold for the last 30 years that the only true success is to be the boss babe you're describing. But let me furthermore say this. That's the image. Everybody want to be a boss babe. Everybody want to be a boss babe.
Why is it got to be a boss babe? Because women want more for themselves, yo.
It ain't
You got
about
me
that.
sounding like I'm a feminist or something. But it sound crazy that you sitting up here making it sound like women can't be bosses because it's okay. They want to be bosses. They have been working to do that. They have been getting educated, grinding it out to get to that point. So who are we to say that they shouldn't have that
When
option?
you talk to the boss women that are at the top, at the pinnacle of their success, they're going to tell you they wish they had children and got married. Most of them, you're going to blind 10 of them up, and 8 of them are going to say, yes, that's the one thing I regret. And that 9th person is going to be iffy, and the 10th person is going to say no.
What about the ones that already got them?
As far as the ones
What they going to tell you? The ones that's bosses and have kids, what will they tell you?
to what degree? I mean, I'm just saying, like, to what degree
What
are
would
you?
they tell you? What would they tell you? Are they going to have regrets? Are they going to tell you?
They're going to tell you that they wish their families would have been better than what they are. They wish that they were able to have this success, or they would have given up a little bit of their success if their family could have been a lot better. I'm pretty sure they're going to let us know in the comments. That's what they would prefer. So again, if you're asking a woman, Jeff Bezos, oh, okay, you've got Amazon, you've acquired all of this wealth, blah 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 blah, and you raised $3 trillion, and there's one thing you could have changed. Maybe it would have cost you $500 billion, and Jeff probably will say, and I'm kind of fudging this analogy here, but what my point is, people in most cases would give up a portion of their secular working world success if they could have guaranteed that they would have family success. A lot of women would say, if I made $50 million over my career, I would have been just as happy making $45 million and having a thriving family. That's all I'm saying.
$5 million,
Yeah.
Now ask them if somebody who made 50, would they have felt the same if they would have made 10?
But let me give you a different perspective, because this perspective is, that's good, that's fine, and I can't say that I entirely disagree with your perspective, But what about the perspective of keeping your woman out of harm's way? Like, where are the men that want
Success is harm's way.
Why
Success? Why do you keep making success for women seem detrimental, yo? What is up? Why is success so detrimental to you? That's why I feel like it's an ego thing.
It's a
because you're making it feel like a successful woman is damn near is making the household literally a dead thing. Like it's a dead ideology. Like if she's a successful mom, that means you don't have a successful household. It doesn't make sense. Two things can be successful, and two things can work at one time. I promise you they can. A successful woman can be a successful mother and a good wife. It can happen. It can happen. It for sure fucking can happen.
I'm not saying that I entirely disagree or agree with that.
Yes, you do. You disagree. You disagree. You just said boss babes. You said every boss babe would tell you that she would sacrifice a piece of her success to have a successful family.
It's not, and again, it's not always just that perspective. I think you've done a good job of pivoting back to that. But I think there's also an element and a large swath of men in society that would prefer to minimize the harm's way that their women are placed in.
For sure. I mean, okay. No, listen, and I don't want you, and I don't want you
that's
to
another
listen.
problem that's another problem that you men try to slide us into, because we're having conversations about boss babes, and a vast majority of women are what? Not boss babes. So again, we're having conversations.
That's another relative conversation,
man. And where they at?
That's another.
Give me an example of
relative.
Real boss babe. Cash Doll? Cash Doll is your example of a boss babe?
Why you gotta go straight to a celebrity?
I'm asking.
It's women that you walk around every day that's bossed up. Straight up. It's women that's walking around you every day that's bossed up. And guess what? The whole thing is, yes, they might be looking for a man. They might want a man. They might be, and it's like you can't just keep putting this shit on women. Niggas ain't right. A lot of niggas ain't got no money. A lot of niggas ain't got the money to even deal with the type of woman that they fucking looking for.
True.
She got more money for her fucking self than she need with this nigga.
I'll give you that.
This nigga's a liability. He's a dependent. So that's what I'm telling you. It's that, and those are the bitches with motion. That's the women. I'm sorry. Those the women with motion. There she go right there.
You found her.
Yeah. There she go right there. You feel me? That's the one with the motion right there. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like we gotta keep it 100 though. Like, cause at the end of the day, if I'm in a certain space in my life, if I'm living and I have a certain tax bracket that I'm living in, and I'm single, you know, for whatever reason, right? Yeah. And I meet a woman, I don't want a woman that's basically a work in progress. I want her to already kind of have her own ideology. And me and her can kind of mesh. And if it don't work, and if I see certain things of her that I don't like, then you know we gonna keep it on a platonic level. And then until I find a woman where it can work, who's able to learn, who wants to learn from me, who's able to be like, you know what, let me set this aside and try to pick up this habit from him. Yeah, you know, and that type of deal.
I prefer a woman that can make her own play, that will make her own play if necessary, but is eager, who is anticipating and ready and open for a scenario in which she don't have to make her own play. She don't have to go through that process.
You ready for a woman that's ready to surrender, and I get that.
And if you say it that way with that tone of voice, then yes, it's a negative thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I never said that in a negative way. Because some women to tell you, like, I'm ready to give myself up to be with you.
He wants y'all out in the street struggling. That's what he wants.
No, that's what you want.
No.
That the part.
A boss. Hey, listen, because here's the reality.
We've been talking about this for 40 minutes. Okay,
let's switch it up. Because far too few of you ever become bosses.
Right here.
All you are is employees. That's the thing.
Okay.
And we get sold this idea, because we get sold this idea of a thriving business, and the business, watch this, never thrives. Wait a minute, we ain't talked about that. Anyway. All right. So I guess this is a good clean pivot. Let me guess. You're on Aisha Curry's side, huh?
No, that's some bullshit. It's some bullshit.
Let me guess. You signed with Aisha. Oh,
Nah,
yeah.
that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
though.
she should have been a boss babe.
No, but see,
Oh, my
I,
gosh.
even with that, like when you a celebrity, you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful. You got to be careful what you let your wife go on these shows and say and do because.
No, to lean into that. Yeah, what are your views on,
Yeah,
on the way she responded?
So first of all, I think that what people got to understand is a lot of these interviews get clipped up.
Okay.
Right. So you miss a lot of
Context, for sure.
right? And so when you miss context, it turns one answer and one thing into something that is not.
Yeah.
Right? So with the Aisha Curry thing, it's almost like people keep asking her questions and she answers them, with full transparency. In the context of the conversation, if you watching it, it don't seem bad until it get clipped up, and you like, damn. When you don't hear that question and you just hear that answer, that shit sounds crazy.
Now I'm not finna go back.
Yeah, I'm not doing. Yeah, no.
I gotta say this.
So look, let me just say this.
I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Because when it's, I don't want to talk about this individual, God rest his soul, but I gotta say this. You see Charlie Kirk in clips, and you don't feel inclined to go see the full context of his conversation. You'd rather just look at the clips and take them at face value. But you see somebody else and you want to go see the full context of their conversation. And we ain't got to talk about Charlie Kirk, but I'm just giving you and again, that's just an example of the contradictions that we have as people in society. Because a vast majority of people in the world have only seen clips of Charlie Kirk, and they feel the way that they feel and refuse to go and watch him talk in his complete context. But go ahead back to your. I just want to just point that out. And I don't want to get into it. I just want to point that out because that's what we should do as people.
You made that up in your head.
Clear.
Yeah, you made it up in your head. All right, boom. So look. Yeah. Anyway. So so back to Aisha Curry. So I think what it is I think that Aisha Curry gets she needs PR trainer or something. Because when you have a husband that's arguably top 2 or 3 in the NBA, top 5 ever. It's just certain.
He said this man's wife needs training.
PR trainer.
This boy said
she needs
train
PR
your
training.
wife, Steph Curry. That is hilarious.
Like
you heard it first from the dads of Detroit. Go pay and get your wife a trainer. That's great.
because
I love that.
You cannot.
That sounds like an ego trip, an ego boost.
It's not an ego trip. It's called being the wife of a millionaire basketball NBA superstar.
Yeah.
Most of them have PR training. That's just not. And I think
she don't.
But see, Aisha Curry also has a lot of other separate endeavors, right? And I think that she tries to gain attention to those, by doing these interviews.
Does she have motion or not? Does Aisha Curry have motion?
It's hard to say no because it's Steph Curry wife.
Yeah. Oh, so the motion that she has, you've identified it next to a man.
Yeah, I have never went against that. I never said that.
Okay, good.
So
you're saying, out of all of that we discussed, the motion that Aisha has is not predicated on the businesses that you just mentioned she may or may not have. It's more so it's just about the fact she's married to Steph. So so at the end of the day, the identity of most women is really.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay.
That's not the identity of most women. You ever heard of Aja Wilson?
Who? One more time.
Aja Wilson. Aja Wilson just won the MVP for the WNBA.
Oh yeah. Her name didn't strike me, but I definitely know who you're talking about. She's Bam. Yeah.
You know who Bam Adebayo is, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know Aja Wilson because I'm Bam Adebayo? Or is she not a 4-time WNBA MVP?
Yeah, I know.
You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's motion. She got motion.
Yeah.
She had it before him.
And
that's his lady.
An interesting thing.
That's his lady. It's ain't nothing interesting about a 4-time WNBA MVP.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I can almost bet you her career is going to be cut short by her pregnancy and marriage. You want to bet?
No.
You want to bet? That fourth time.
I'm about to crack.
Yeah.
I'm about to crack you with this one, y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can almost
finish. I'm about to tell you why.
I can almost bet you.
I'm about to
her
pull up.
career is gonna be cut short, or before her career is over, she gonna get married to Ben.
I'm about to pull this lady up. I'm about to pull this lady up for this guy.
Yeah, cut it out.
Has he ever heard of Skylar Diggins?
She came back.
Skylar
was my
Has
girl.
he ever heard of
Skylar
Skylar Diggins?
Skylar was my girl. I love
What is he
Skylar.
talking about?
I've always loved
What is he
Skylar.
talking about?
I've always loved Skylar.
Has he ever heard of Skylar Diggins?
I love
Has
you,
he
Skylar.
ever
I
heard
love you.
of Skylar Diggins? Like, what are we
Hi,
talking about
Skylar.
here?
I love you.
Okay, what are we talking about? They can get pregnant, come back, and still smack shit.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
still one who she is.
She's still a dog.
She's still a dog, and she's still playing to this day.
Yeah, no, she is, yeah,
What is he
yeah.
talking about,
Yeah,
man?
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
Come on, y'all.
But that still proves my point that Skylar, one of the people that we both know, and we don't even know her man. So in one way, that proves your point. But at the same time, that proves my point. They stopped their WNBA careers, put them on hold. Don't worry, I'll get back to basketball, but let me have these kids while I'm in the best physical position to do so.
Yep, and guess what? And guess what? When they in the season, guess what their husband doing? Guess what their husband doing? Guess what their husband doing? Exactly.
What?
To prove my point,
What he doing?
he's putting his life on hold to take care of them kids so mama can bring home the bacon.
Well,
just like I said.
Well,
thank you.
I don't want to get too petty.
I know.
But
I know.
In this example, you may be wrong because the WNBA don't make nothing.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, she was making enough for that nigga to keep the kids. You know what I'm saying? She was making enough for them to keep the kids.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you win that round, but my point, my point is, the WNBA, they've been complaining about their contracts.
Yeah,
for
sure.
For years.
For sure.
So it's like,
But just to answer your question, I don't agree with Aisha Curry. And simply because, like I said, at some point you got to just know what you should and shouldn't say. Not saying you shouldn't go on these interviews and not be transparent, but you just got to know what questions to answer and how to answer them.
And you gave her a little. I went with the Charlie Kirk point on the context, and just for the soundbite, I guess. But to the point of context, we can still dig into what she's saying and see that what she said was pretty stupid. And I mean that respectfully. And I mean, but what I say that because it's like, okay, if you say that you don't. She's just distasteful, man. Aisha Curry is just distasteful. And the only reason I'm being careful about that is because it's someone's wife. And I don't want to disrespect, you know what I mean, like Steph, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, you just don't say that. You don't say, I didn't know I was going to have kids without immediately saying, I'm happy I have them. They're the biggest blessing of all time. You know what I mean? Because guess what? My wife didn't know she was going to get pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, that happens often. You know what I mean? So that's not just breaking news.
Right.
But it's like, I think it speaks to, and again, let me just say this. I think it kind of speaks to a larger narrative around people. Because we don't jump on people in society with the one-offs. We kind of let them do these types of things over and over and over again before we begin to say, like, okay, something's crazy here. We've seen her on The Talk or whatever when those Lonnie Love and the other young ladies had a talk show and a guy came on the set with his shirt off, and the first thing she pretended to do was to take off her ring. You feel me? So it's like, when you get to be saying slick, sly little stuff like that, or let me make a little joke about one thing or the other, time and time again, and at some point you're gonna be like, bro,
I definitely
what's up,
understand
bro?
that.
You don't like my Timbs? What's up?
I understand that.
Okay, so it's like, I think that's a little bit why, people are kind of looking at her that way as well, because we've been seeing you say and do stuff like this. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you said it. You had a soundbite go wrong the last time, and then but it didn't happen again. And with you, it's always happening. You feel me? So it's like.
So what if her and Steph already talked about this type of thing? Like, basically, he told her that she got the green light to go out there and say what she need to say to gain attraction for whatever project she's doing. Like,
nobody,
because it's Hollywood. It's still Hollywood at the end of the day.
And you know what, brother, I hope that's what happened. And I
Yeah.
believe that's a plausible thing as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just create a story, whatever case. You know, we told that about Mark, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
were they really going outside? Were they playing? Were they serious?
Right.
But if we talking about it and we talking about it again.
Right.
So yeah. I'm not against that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what I mean? Shoot. That still points back to the sentiment that I have. It's like, you know, man, how many times have you is it some? I don't know, man. I don't like that, man. It's like you guys are partners. You know what I mean? Like if you got to go on a publicity stunt against your significant other to sell your books or sell your lipstick,
So I don't think it's like more so a publicity stunt.
Do you really have motion?
I don't think what I'm saying. I don't think he told her like pull publicity stunts, but I
Yeah.
think he might have told her like, listen.
She got to make news. Yeah.
No, not even that. No, not even that. I think he told her that she can be completely transparent, and I think that in those moments she feels comfortable enough to be completely transparent because she knows there is no repercussions when she went home because he told her and allowed her that space to be like, look, you know, because he might be secure enough to be like, yeah, she said this shit, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, man, I get it. She's trying to sell some products. She's got a husband that's far more famous and noteworthy than she is, and quite frankly, she won't be able to sell products or do whatever she's doing or have people talking about her unless she says something disparaging about her husband. And I just hate that for far too many women in entertainment. That's kind of how you get your name and your money. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'll just say that when you say those types of things, I think it's important to give the context right in there and
Right.
do your best to try to make it all one soundbite, which is impossible. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't want to be impossible, but I just, you know, when those types of things again happen over and over and over from one person, it's kind of like, where there's smoke, there's fire. But you know, hey, neither here nor there. We want to know what you think about our conversation from today. You know, we've discussed this because we want to know what your views are on it, and I love the idea that there'll be both perspectives. I think that being kept is a matter of, you know, having the option to be a stay-at-home wife or mother first.
He think that's what having motion is.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think that's what
That's his whole conversation was about motion.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, that's, you know, and I stand by that. And he thinks something slightly other. That's fine. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. You're watching the Dads of Detroit. We're engaging these conversations, and hopefully these conversations are fruitful most to our sons and daughters, and the conversations that we're having and that we're engaging are they're held in a way that when our children come across them in years to come, they'll be more enlightened. They'll be more encouraged to be more curious about where the truth lies. We know that it's not left. We know that it's not right. We know it's somewhere in the middle. Continue to meet us in the middle. We'll